So I want to do a conversation here about the Ranger Raptor. It's a conversation about what we have and what we don't have and what we want and what we think we want and what's been marketed to us and what no longer is marketed anymore. So when you look at the Ranger Raptor, it's 79.4 inches wide. So a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not getting an F-150. It's too wide. I'm waiting for the Ranger Raptor." So when you get on to the realization that the F-150 is 79.9 inches wide, you realize that's 6/100ths of an inch in difference. So when you compare that in length, it's still 4 inches shorter. So you take into consideration you've got 395 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque, weighing 4,709 pounds. And when you compare that to the Ranger Raptor, and you're at 213 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque and 5,143 pounds. That means it has about 10% less torque. It weighs about 10% more. It gives you a 41.26 horsepower per 1,000 pounds. Now, that's about a 10-second run to 60. And if you compare that through to the small F-150 when it's set up this way, you're looking at 83.88 horsepower per 1,000 pounds. So that's more than twice the power to weight. Okay, and power to weight is what makes things move. So you've got around a 5-second 0 to 60. You've got a V8 gas, so it sounds like a V8 gas, and you can put whatever exhaust system on it you want to make it sound whatever way you want. You can also add a supercharger to it to bump it up to 700 horsepower. Now, when you get the 4-cylinder diesel, you can chip it, and you can bump it up a little bit, but you know you're giving up that a little bit of that economy that it's famous for. But on the other side of that, you know, you're going to lose out on some other attributes of that diesel. It's still going to sound like a 4-cylinder diesel. Now, this truck comes on 32.8-inch tires, 285/70 17s. Now, when you look at the F-150 that I'm running, I got 34.3-inch tires, which are 295/70 18s. And that gives me about 4 inches more ground clearance. And the truck's about 4 inches shorter wheelbase. So that means I have a much greater breakover angle, and I still have a much sharper turning circle. So, you know, when you look at this and you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't get an F-150, you can't use them off-road, they're too wide." You know, those people, they've driven maybe a 4-door, 145-inch wheelbase truck or maybe a 157-inch wheelbase truck and tried to take it off-road around corners, through trees, that type of thing. Those swing too wide. You know, these trucks, for all intents and purposes, are the F-150 is shorter. It's the same width. It's lighter, so it's smaller. It's faster, and for all intents and purposes, it's better for the North American market.